Google just released their latest core update, the August 15 core update SEO search algorithm. For anyone who is not in the game, who's not in the SEO world, this is a big thing, all right? This is a huge thing, actually. After months of waiting and sometimes even praying, finally Google has released their latest update, and I want to talk about it today. Is it good? Is it bad? How is it going to affect small publishers? How is it going to affect the industry as a whole? Let's get into it. So as I mentioned, Google released their search algorithm update on August 15, and this has been a long time waiting. If you're a publisher, a small publisher, or an SEO guy or girl, you know everyone has been waiting for this one. Google has been releasing these updates, a few times a year. Most of the time, right, if you are good at SEO, or if you are a good publisher or have a really good brand with valuable content, most of the time you would be fine. Obviously, there are ups, there are downs. Sometimes traffic, you lose ranking, you gain ranking, but overall you kept going. I've been doing this for like almost 20 years now. Most of the updates that I've seen during the years are just, sometimes they hurt you, sometimes you gain traffic, but you keep going, you keep rolling with the punches, and if you're really good, you even keep growing, right? But this all changed with the helpful content update, right? Roughly 18 months ago, maybe even longer, Google launched the HCU, helpful content update, which is basically a different ranking system or a different algorithm piece that I actually covered in previous videos. I'm going to link to them probably here or both. I'm not sure. And you can read or watch my videos about the helpful content update here and get to know more about it. I don't want to discuss them on this video, but in a nutshell, basically this new algorithm system slowly started eating away at the impressions on the search for small publishers, in particularly, and more specifically even for independent publishers. The official word for the content helpful system is that it's going to demote unhelpful content or content that has been created solely for the purpose of gaining search traffic, and improve content that was created with real value to the users without the search intent. Theoretically, this sounds great, but in practicality, a lot of independent publishers started complaining that the big players, websites like Forbes.com or a lot of other players are eating away at their search traffic, most of the time without even being relevant. That means that Forbes can rank for search terms that are totally not in their niche or industry, which clearly they do not have industry expertise. For example, food related queries, gaming related queries. Forbes is not an authority on these topics, but yet somehow Google kept pushing him up, and a lot of other sites like that. So what happened together with that is that many small independent publishers who are actually an authority, maybe a chef, maybe a food blogger who has years of experience in the field, has been pushed down the search. This even intensified more when Reddit started ranking up. More and more search queries started seeing Reddit queries at the top of the search, again pushing independent publishers and my own sites as well further down, causing more loss of search traffic, more loss of search impressions, eventually less users going into your website. And it doesn't matter how you make your money, if it's from ads or affiliate or even promoting your own services or products, you gain less traffic, you earn much less. I think a really good example of what happened are sites like retro Doodoo, right, from Brandon, or HelloFresh, right? These are two very niche sites that were getting honestly crushed with no real solution at sight, right? Suddenly, from a thriving small publisher, small time business that provides for a few families and actually provides value to the readers, all of a sudden they were first forced to scale down. Some of them even closed down completely because there was just not enough revenue to keep the business going. Mind you, these are small business owners, mom and pops, operating from the garage or maybe from a small office, most of the time providing a very well life, right, for a few families, maybe 3, 4, 5 people. So I would say it's actually the backbone of the internet economy, and it was a shame seeing it, my sites included. I am a small publisher. I own a portfolio of websites, for those of you who don't know, and for almost 20 years now, this has been my game, and I've been doing it proudly. And yes, in the last 18 months, honestly, my sites were getting killed as well, and not for authentic reasons, if you ask me, right? I provide value, I provide great content, trying to be objective about it. No one is perfect, but I think a lot of those small publishers actually did their best to provide value that the users want. So after these helpful content updates started rolling out, and there were a few of them in the course of the last 18 months or maybe 24 months, right? Each one of these updates got the traffic even lower and lower. Like I said, to the point of many publishers having to quit the game entirely or scale down undeniably, right, and look for other source of income that were not search related. Now, just to be clear, this does not only affect the publishers themselves. Many users over the course of the last year and a half have been reporting that the search results on Google search were actually not good at all, and very poor, if you might ask some of them. You get non-relevant results, you get simply Reddit or Quora results at the top without even the context of the search query, right? For example, given a Reddit thread that is 5 years old to almost any query, any search query, is not really valuable to most search queries and most users. And speaking of Reddit, after a while we actually learned why that happened. They actually closed a $60 million a year deal with Google to help train Google's AI large language models in exchange for obviously a ranking boost. I mean, there's no other way of saying it. You know what I mean? My eyes don't lie, but honestly, we can't prove that. So at least we know what started this whole treadmill of helpful content updates, right? But it only got worse from there. As time went by, results became poor. SEO people everywhere were giving up. Things looked dark, and people lost their entire businesses and livelihood. I suffered a major blow myself as well, not gonna lie. Some publishers took it in the chin and just diversify into social media. I'm thinking about people like Annie Moss, if you know her from Twitter. She owns a very successful portfolio. She shifted, honestly, with perfect timing, into more Facebook traffic, Pinterest traffic strategy, at least to stay afloat, at least to try and thrive in a non-friendly SEO environment. Some people took a much more public approach, calling out Google specifically for ruining their business, actually ruining a lot of lives. Some of those names are like Brandon from Retro Doodoo or HelloFresh that I named before, and a few other travel blogs that I know personally who got really crushed unjustifiably. So eventually it made some noise in the media, it made some noise online if you're inside those communities, and Google started engaging with those publishers and small independent companies even inviting some of them to lunch at Google. I'm talking about you, Brandon, yes, to discuss what they're feeling, to try and understand and learn how Google can improve. Honestly, this is a great start. It is a great initiative by Google to try and engage with those, with us, the small publishers, and try to see how they can actually improve their search. So I think it's a good approach if they can actually get the information they need and actually apply it to the search. I'm not sure that they technically can, to be honest, because the search is so big right now and it's run mostly, I think, at this point by AIs that are just talking to each other. So it's going to be very hard to even the Google engineers to predict, what the search is going to look like. So I don't know how is it all going to play out. Some say it's a PR stunt that Google is reaching out to those small publishers just to show that they care, but they don't really. So there's a lot of different opinions about these things. Some takes Google side, some take the publisher side, some people just stay quiet and try to, survive and thrive. Business is business. I'm not sure where I lie in this, to be honest. So now we got to this update. All this leads us to now. August 15, which is 3 days ago, Google launched their latest core update, and their own definition of it reads as follows. Today we released the August 2024 core update. It continues our work to improve the quality of our search results by showing more content that people find genuinely useful and less content that feels like it was made just to perform well on search. This is the official Google Search Central Twitter profile that publishes this tweet, right, announcing the August 15 core update. So as we can see by their own definition, they're trying to show results that are more genuinely useful to the users, right? That's Google's goal. And they're trying to demote content that was specifically made or created to do well on search, basically SEO content, right? But obviously it's not perfect because a lot of small businesses who actually create content for their audience, for their users, have been demoted as well. Some of the key details from the core August updates are, core Google updates aim to show more content that people find genuine, right? Core updates target content created primarily to rank well in search and try to demote it. Google states that this update considers feedback from recent content creators and other stakeholders, meaning the launches, the interviews, the FAQs, sessions that they did with these independent small publishers were taken into account before releasing this core update, which is somewhat encouraging that, such a big company actually listened to small guys and try to convey their concerns. The company reaffirms its commitment to showcasing high-quality content from diverse sources, including smaller independent websites. This is a great line that I think a lot of people should focus on and really measure this latest update if it's worth or not, right? Quality content from diverse sources, including smaller independent websites. Only time will tell if it actually is, this sentence holds true or not. Now, what do I think about this update? What do I think that will happen? Honestly, I do not know. After doing this for so long, almost 20 years in the SEO game, these latest updates in the last 18 months throw everyone through a loop. Everyone is in the dark. There's no clear direction on info on what to do. It's going to take a month at least, like any other core update, to see the results of this update, to see where we fall, where the chips fall, so to speak. So I will keep you posted on sequencing videos, but I sure hope, like Google claim, right, that this update will at least revert some, if not all, but at least some of the traffic losses that small publishers had on a personal note, and give some hope to real creative people that are creating engaging, fun, and valuable content and work that is not corporate America, that is not corporate in any way or somewhat fake, right? I think a good mix of both small independent publishers and corporate publishers are needed on the internet, because the internet is made up of millions of small individuals together with these big companies that creates this mesh that is the internet, specifically Google search. And I think they can both work together in peace and everyone can thrive. And I think Google can recognize and apply this, and I think the real users that are using search as a search engine, using Google as a search engine, can appreciate the mix of both. Sometimes you want to read a small blog that is really, that's his life, right? If it's a food blog, that's what he does. It's a mom, a stay-at-home mom that cooks for her family and wants to share her recipes with the rest of the world. There is authenticity in that. You can't replicate that with a big corporate company that hires chefs or whatever, or have their own studio in their office. They're basically just faking recipes. I think a mix of both is helpful. On the other hand, if you want to consult about your taxes, yes, maybe showing a content from a big CPA corporation or a big website that could have the resources to consult with a team of top tier CPAs and CFOs, that is also valuable, right? But those are two different search queries, two different things that can live together in the search. So my hope is that Google understand that and maybe slowly start to fix their algorithms to showcase more of both worlds. Only time will tell. As usual, if you enjoy this video, even if one person gained value from it, my work is complete. I appreciate it if you could hit the thumbs up and the thumbs up button and like this video. Consider even subscribing, as this helps my channel a lot and it gives me a lot of motivation to try and keep creating those videos essentially for you. Obviously, I also enjoy it. And until next time, I'll see you in the next video.